Authored by Betty Smith and first published in 1943, this book is best described as a semi-autobiographical, coming-of-age novel. The novel is divided into 5 sections, referred to as books. Each book covers different stages in the characters' lives. The central metaphor in the story is the resilient tree of heaven, symbolizing the protagonist's determination to improve her circumstances, despite living in a poverty-stricken inner city.
Book 1 begins in 1912 and introduces Francie Nolan, an 11-year-old girl living with her family in the impoverished Brooklyn neighborhood of Williamsburg. Francie relies on her imagination and love for reading to escape the harsh reality of poverty. Her parents, Johnny and Katie, struggle to make ends meet, with Johnny's alcoholism hindering his ability to maintain steady employment. Despite his shortcomings, Francie admires her father's artistic and sentimental nature. Katie, the family's main breadwinner, is pragmatic and focused on survival rather than dreams.
Book 2 takes us back to 1900 and recounts the meeting of Johnny and Katie, both children of immigrants from Ireland and Austria, respectively. While Johnny becomes anxious and turns to heavy drinking when Katie becomes pregnant with their children, Katie is determined to provide her offspring with a better life.
She promises herself never to let Francie discover her favoritism toward Neely, her healthier son. The Nolan family faces several challenges, including having to relocate within Williamsburg due to Johnny's alcohol-fueled incidents and their Aunt Sissy's misguided attempts at babysitting. Eventually, they settle in the apartment where Book 1 begins.
In Book 3, the Nolans adjust to their new home, and 7-year-old Francie and 6-year-old Neely begin attending a dilapidated public school nearby. Despite the harsh environment, Francie finds solace in learning and manages to transfer to a better school with her father's support. However, Johnny's efforts to improve the children's education are unsuccessful.
It is Katie who helps Francie grow as a person, and she even saves her daughter's life by shooting a child rapist and murderer who attempts to attack Francie. The family faces another tragedy when Johnny falls into a deep depression upon learning of Katie's pregnancy and eventually succumbs to alcoholism-induced pneumonia on Christmas Day 1915. Katie uses the life insurance money to bury Johnny and support the family. Frankie's graduation from grade school helps her come to terms with her father's death.
At the beginning of Book 4, Francie and Neely must find jobs to support themselves since there is no money for high school. Francie works at an artificial flower factory but later secures a better-paying job at a press clipping office by lying about her age. She intends to save her earnings for high school, but Katie decides to send Neely instead, believing he needs the push to continue his education.
When the United States enters World War I, the clipping office faces decline and shuts down, leaving Francie unemployed. She eventually lands a job as a teletype operator and devises a new plan for her education, opting to skip high school and take college-level courses during the summer. Although she fails the college entrance exams, she develops a brief but painful connection with a soldier named Lee Reiner. Meanwhile, Katie accepts a marriage proposal from Michael McShane, a retired police officer turned successful businessman and politician.
Book 5 picks up in the fall of the same year, with Francie leaving her teletype job to attend the University of Michigan after passing the entrance exams with Ben's assistance. Francie contemplates a potential relationship with Ben as the Nolans prepare for Katie's wedding and their move to McShane's home. Before leaving their Brooklyn apartment, Francie reflects on her favorite childhood places and the people who have come and gone in her life.
She recognizes her father's spirit in Neely, now a talented jazz pianist. Francie spots the resilient tree of heaven in the building's yard, symbolizing her family's ability to overcome adversity and thrive. Finally, she notices a young girl named Floy, reminiscent of her younger self, sitting on the fire escape and reading. Francie acknowledges her own past and says both, "Hello Frankie and goodbye Frankie," as she closes the window.
Reception for this book. The novel enjoyed tremendous success and was even released as an armed services edition to fit into the pockets of military uniforms. One Marine expressed his emotional reaction to the book, stating, "I can't explain the emotional reaction that took place in this dead heart of mine. A surge of confidence has swept through me, and I feel that maybe a fellow has a fighting chance in this world after all."
Check out the playlist links at the end of this video for similar great reading ideas. If you want to buy this book or the audiobook, you'll find links below in the description along with a free trial offer with Audible, who have the world's largest selection of audiobooks. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We hope to see you again soon.